We're alive. Hey, listen, I was told to cut across, so I'm cutting across. Hold up, one sec. You're muted for stream. So AJ's at least let me know that much. And you should be audible. Go.
All right, apologies for the technical issues. If you missed what I said before, what I said was good morning and good luck. So here's my Chuck E. Cheese story. Chuck E. Cheese announced that they had the Oculus Rift, and I wanted to try it out. So I, at the time, was like 28 or something, like or too damn old to be going to Chuck E. Cheese by myself. But I did though. Wait, I can hear Noir turn it back off. Oh, fuck you. Anyway, I went to Chuck E. Cheese. And like, they also had a Dance Revolution machine, which I hadn't seen in forever.
Oh, nice.
And I loved it. So like, I'm playing Dance Revolution, and then I try out the Oculus Rift, and it just had a bunch of kids games. It was pretty weak. But like, all I remember was I took off the Oculus Rift and I saw like 3 moms glaring at me. And like, they looked exactly like you would imagine 3 moms to glare at, me. So, oh, definitely. Like, it was like, I got this, it was like Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 were standing in line, but it was different forms of carriage. It's like, no, I'm racist. No, I'm super racist. And this is to go beyond racist. So
it was like the Pokemon evolutionary chart, but for Karens.
Amazing, incredible.
It was Karen, Sally, and then Michelle. That's when you know you got a problem. So I did go to play one more game of Dance Revolution. They kind of followed me and I left. But that's my story.
Wow,
just to say,
they followed you?
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, so that's just to say, if you do want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, because we're checking out the prices and it does sound pretty good, just be careful because parents will glare at you if you don't have a kid present.
You need a decoy child.
It just like snatching a kid to claim it so they leave you alone. That just makes it worse.
All right. So I think we have a plan here. First of all, we have to find a child, go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Hey, wait. No, I got it. You wait like...
I love any time a plan starts with find a child.
Listen,
yeah.
You wait like a month and a week and I got you.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
We'll just take my baby.
We'll
just take my kid.
Count? Like
babies are what? No. Please run that
does,
back. Do babies count as children? Please, everyone, do babies count as children?
Chat, vote now. Do babies count as children?
Like, would Chuck E. Cheese be like, oh yes, definitely have your baby come into Chuck E. Cheese?
What are they gonna do?
Any games? Like,
just
listen,
put those
babies
baby headphones on.
Yeah, they like stimuli. They enjoy lights.
I mean, I do remember seeing, like, when I was a kid and I went to Chuck E. Cheese, a kid that was way too young to be in the ball pit. It was like the end scene of Titanic. Just floating in the balls. Like, no.
All right, so we have a plan. We're doing this. Month and a half.
Chuck E. Cheese.
We're going to Chuck E.
Cheese. We go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Look, if the TTRPG community could get its own cruise, I think we could take over one Chuck E. Cheese.
I mean, worst case scenario, we just go to Dave & Buster's, right? I mean, is there a Dave & Buster's around here?
There's one by me.
There's one by me.
Plan
like,
B.
I don't know, like, Dave & Buster's doesn't have a ball. You know what? Somebody needs to come up with an adult ball pit.
Oh, those are Instagram experiences.
And the little tubes. I miss being able to just climb in the little tubes.
I miss that so much. What I told my partner is like, my dream house one day has one of those like tube slides down into a ball pit.
Yeah.
Thank you for clipping that, AJ. Do babies count as children? Vote now.
Okay, I figured out what the play bands are. So the coil wristbands, part of the summer like fun party thing, are just like a wristband, and then it gets you like a play pass, which is like a card. The play bands are usually saved for when you have a birthday party and you're like the birthday star. And part of getting the birthday package,
birthday star.
Yes, part of getting the play package.
That's what I must be referred to on my birthday from here on out.
You get the play band, which has a star on it. Instead of like a card pass, you have like the wristband is the pass, and it has unlimited game time.
Wait, so if we say that's someone's birthday and we don't have a child, I feel like we could still get away with this.
I agree.
I think they
read the fine print. Where does it say that the birthday had to be like
a child's birthday?
A child's birthday? I just turned 50. Give me my motherfucking play band.
I guess I know what I'm doing on my
I want my
birthday
cheese pizza.
Yo, say what you want. Chuck E. Cheese pizza is fire. I don't care if they recycle slices.
We were actually talking about that before you hopped in the chat. We were talking about how the conspiracy theory about recycling
which is a
slices.
wild theory.
I mean, like, I don't mind it so much. It's just like they're not letting pizza go to waste and it's still fire. If it is true, it's delicious. So, you know, handle that how you want it.
I've been craving Chuck E. Cheese pizza since like January of this year, and we talked about it on my podcast.
Okay, I have a question because I can't remember because I have alcoholics in my family. Did Chuck E. Cheese ever serve booze or
Yes.
was that? I thought so.
I think they still actively serve booze right now.
Yo, they serve. We definitely gotta take over.
Get out of here, 10-year-olds. This is our house now.
I just want to get lit and fight a kid in the ball pit. This is Lawn Over.
This is Morning Ritual. Hello, everybody. For those of you who aren't aware, this is where we chat TTRPGs and more, and apparently, this is also the show where we talk about fighting children in ball pits and debate important facts like our babies' children. I'm Anita. I'm one of your hosts. And down here...
Just watching you try to save this plane wreck.
I'm gonna pull this up last minute.
We have a script. There's a whole thing we do.
This is like the last 10 minutes of Captain America.
I'm mostly doing it because I wanted to get our intros in under the 20-minute mark.
Okay, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Hi, everybody. I'm the other host, Noir. You know what it is. Gang, Chicago, baby. Where that came from. That's it.
And we have two wonderful guests with us. We'll start with Austin. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Austin. I'm here. I'm contractually obligated to talk about Chuck E. Cheese once every 24 hours. So my pact is complete, and I am free once again.
Your pact? Are you a warlock under Chuck E. Entertainment?
Yeah. Charles Entertainment Cheese is your patron.
Charles Entertainment Cheese is my patron. He's a very powerful pizza rat who survived 4 bankruptcies. So I don't. He knows.
That's pure power right there.
He's got his bag, and I'm trying to get mine. So.
Banana chat.
I am Banana. I am not contractually obligated under the pizza rat, so I can just talk about whatever pizza stuff I want. Could be Pizza Hut. Could be Domino's, could be, I don't know what other pizza places there are. I don't know. Staten Island Pizza. I love Staten Island Pizza. I'm just going to talk about that the entire stream now.
Okay, I can't.
Chad is now talking about throwing little Timmy off the top of the slide and singing "Long to Live the King," or suplexing a kid into the ball pit.
So to go back to a conversation we also had before we got online. What the fuck exactly is even Mothman? I don't know anything about Mothman.
Mothman
is a cryptid.
What is a cryptid?
Like Bigfoot.
That's a good
man.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Cryptids
what defines a cryptid?
Loch Ness monster is a cryptid.
So just like a monster?
It is a monster that has been cited by sighted by people.
Real humans.
By real humans.
Okay.
And has become an urban legend in status.
So would the Kraken no longer be a cryptid because we know that colossal squid are real?
That's fair. That's a fair point.
Wait, what?
Let's say yes and no, because I feel like we don't want to piss off the cryptid community. Krakens are no longer cryptids because they have to have something to believe in, right? Yeah. Meaning I have to have something to believe in.
I guess my question is like because if Mothman landed in your house today, like Mothman would no longer be a cryptid, he'd be like a being. Because I don't know if it would be sentient. So is it a person or is it just an animal, right?
Like, is Mothman just a giant moth or is it like a half moth, half man?
He's like a tall humanoid moth.
It's just like Batman, but like a guy in a moth suit.
But yeah, like the Sasquatch or Yeti are both cryptids. Like there's documented like sightings of these creatures by people. The Loch Ness Monster, obviously, because there's the famous photo, like that sort of thing. Those are cryptids. So the Mothman it's Wisconsin, right? Or
Mothman moves around a lot.
West
Virginia. Yeah.
I know lots of areas.
But there's ones like the
Mothman.
Jersey Devil where it's like the creature has been sighted in New Jersey, so that's why it's called the Jersey Devil.
Okay, what the fuck is the Jersey Devil?
It's a goat with wings. That's basically what the Jersey Devil is.
Like, okay, so like, do cryptids like? Okay, all right. So, does the Mothman kill people? Like, what?
It mostly just scares people.
It's just like a Mothman.
Yeah. The other thing is like cryptids are like, you don't know what they are doing or trying to do in theory, right? Yeah. They're like mysterious. You're like, what does Bigfoot want? Because Bigfoot is one that's like, they think it's like a species of them because there's like Bigfoot. They're supposed to live in Michigan.
I can talk to you about Bigfoot.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Let me step off. Let me get out of the way.
Sorry. No, but I have a friend that is obsessed with Bigfoot. And if you ask him about his Bigfoot theories, there are certain like theories where it's like, one, there could be a species of them. Two, they could be interdimensional shape shifters or like dimensional travelers, because like there's parts where you see them go by you turn a corner and they're gone. Like,
okay, so this is how I know that the only kind of adventure I'll ever go on is with dice, because my natural inclination is leave these motherfuckers alone. Like, even if they real, they just trying to live their life. They not bothering them. Mothman just trying to do Mothman things, and people out here trying to take a selfie. Just leave
there's
Mothman
an
alone.
entire tourist industry that's built around Bigfoot.
Yes.
And Bigfoot culture. Like,
why though? Like, I don't.
My friend has been on Bigfoot
it.
hunts looking for Bigfoot.
Those are what's wild to me. You're like, you want to find this giant monster man and then do what? Get stumped out? What's your plan?
It kind of reminds me of how like Richard Simmons for a while just like didn't want to be bothered, didn't want to have any fans following him. He was just like, leave me alone, please.
And people
like, I'm
wouldn't.
not answering. Yeah, exactly. It's
They're
just
like, no,
we're gonna track him down.
Did we learn nothing from Britney Spears? Just leave people alone. Like, it's not cool. Like, and to call it a Bigfoot hunt, like, you know, half of the people that are obsessed with Bigfoot want to shoot it and put it in a museum, and like that inherently bums me out. Like, leave. I hope the guy Bigfoot is real, and I hope the guy he puts legendary cryptid paws on somebody who's trying to hunt him. I'm rooting for cryptids.
Bigfoot's in chat somewhere like, yeah, leave Bigfoot alone.
Werewolf feels. Austin, you date Mothman. Have you seen the cake on that statue? We actually did have a picture of that of the Mothman cheeks.
So I was at the Mothman statue / museum, and I did get a picture with Mothman. Oh wait, here, can you see that butt? Am I allowed to
Oh,
put
yeah.
butts on here?
Wow. That Mothman is double caked up. Like, see, this is why I think humanity has come in whatever's about to happen. Because half of us want to kill these cryptids, and the other half want to fuck them. Like, it's just, these poor cryptids don't know what they're gonna get, and it's just a mess.
What if I just wanted a lovely dinner with Mothman?
What if I just take Mothman on a date? Just a nice date.
I don't know if Mothman probably doesn't know who they can trust at this point.
That's true.
Exactly.
True.
Like, if Minotaurs are real, like, if a Minotaur came out and was just went on Good Morning America today, like, the internet would be aflame with people like, I gotta get me some of that.
Okay.
And I'll kill it dead if it ever comes around.
Here's the thing, though. Would it be like that, or would there be, like, no reaction, like the ocean being on fire? It's just we're so desensitized, or aliens being real, that we're so desensitized to, like, announcement after big announcement that we just don't give a fuck anymore.
I believe no matter how apathetic the human race is, we'll always be motivated by Kate.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's probably true.
If this portal to hell in the ocean had cheeks, guaranteed we give a shit. Like right now the government's just like, aliens might exist, and our natural, like, our subconscious reaction is, where the cheeks at?
I felt like people are like, the government said that, yeah, they have some alien stuff, and everyone was like, are they hot?
They're like, well, we don't have a clear picture of it. They're like, man, shut the fuck up till we can figure out if we can fuck it. That's humanity right there. And I hate it.
I think I would just, if like something like that happened, I think me personally would just like shut down at reality breaking in half. If like a Minotaur or like a Naga or something just like rolled up to my house, is like, hey, monster creatures are real, I'd be like, yeah, that broke me. I mean, you have a good day though. I'm gonna like close the door and just like go. I'm gonna go chill out on the couch. That's it. I'm just done.
Gonna go about my business now.
I just hope that if aliens are real, they have a sexuality that is so complex that it makes bigots' heads explode.
Valid.
I want it to be some off the wall, very confusing, like trying to keep track of the plot of Lost complex sexuality. Just like, wait,
that's what always gets me for like space game. Like, so I'm playing Mass Effect for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh,
congratulations. It is absolutely bonkers to me that the people who made this game are like, space is racist and very heteronormative. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? This one alien race lives for like 5,000 years or some shit. What do you sound absolutely wild. Why? That sounds wild. It's like, very weird to me.
You mean this alien race that is only female is just obsessed with getting dudes?
It's so bizarre.
Yeah. That makes no sense.
All right, let's talk about that race. They make themselves look hot to whoever is perceiving them, and I think that just sucks. I think that's lazy.
Yeah.
I think you're cowards, and I think BioWare is even bigger cowards for never showing us what they actually look like. Mm-hmm. It's just like, no, you don't need to see what they actually look like. Just know that they're hot to us. No, cowards. I want you to show us what they look like, and I want them to look like a bagel with cream cheese. I want us to comprehend that. I just want it to be a giant bagel, so everybody's favorite waifu is just like nothing. I almost spoiled Mass Effect for you. So
you almost spoiled my breakfast.
No, hey, eat that slutty bagel. Glorians.
Yeah, I'm like
all the genders. Look at those.
A little bit through Mass Effect 2, but it's just so. It's like so drawing. You're like playing, and then like a Turian is like, oh yeah, those filthy vermites or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way for like the way they've created this like space society of like this like massive interconnected like intergalactic federation. I'm like, but everyone's still just racist as hell. Like that's like
The
tell
fact
me
that
why
there's
people made
literally
your game.
a genocidal like virus that stops the Turians from, or not Turians, the Krogans from being
Krogans.
able to reproduce.
Oh yeah,
Right?
They-
And they're like,
The
oh,
genophage.
Krogans are too dangerous to let that
they
happen
get the
again. I was like,
eugenics and all
I'm
that kind of
sorry,
shit.
what? it's
because
like,
they were too good at what they did, so they had to
Yeah.
shut it down.
Yeah, it's absolutely fucking I can understand in some regard of like wanting to like put that in front of some gamers for sure and being like, do you see how this looks on paper? You know, and like
Yeah.
using your game to tell a message, but it's one thing for it to be like it happened in this intergalactic history, and it's something to be like it happened, and now you have a crew member in Mass Effect 2 who's like, oh, I helped do it, and I would do it again. You're like, what the fuck? Why do I want to hang out with you?
I've
Well,
never played Mass Effect.
Oh, okay. Well, just long story short, Mass Effect it's got some wildly problematic shit in there.
Yeah.
The more you think about it, there is a race called the Krogan, which are like they're your quintessential like barbarian race. They're like you know the Klingons of Mass Effect, and they're really good at war. Like
they are. They will take you out. You already lost.
And what another race of aliens did to them is they just cut off their ability to reproduce.
Yeah.
Like just
With the genophage.
they just engineered a way
Whoa.
where they can't have any more children.
It's like 1 in 10,000 or something. Is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
And they look very lowly on children that are reproduced via cloning, because it's like literally the only way they can right now.
And you have in your crew, in your RPG party, the Nazi that did it.
Yeah, he's
What?
yeah, you like meet this scientist in Mass Effect 2 who you need to help like engineer a cure for something, like some space thing.
Yeah.
And he's a homie, and as you're unlocking his story, he's like, oh yeah, I gotta tell you something. I got a homie down on the Krogan home. We're like, oh, okay, let's go see him. He's like, yeah. Anyway, we did the genophage together. You're like, don't you feel bad? He's like, no, it need to be done. I'll do it again. You're like, I don't want to go help. I'm not gonna go find your homie. Fuck both of you. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
And the thing is, they play this character up as like a little bit of comic relief as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's basically imagine Space Kramer.
Oh no.
That's like how they
Doing
try
his
to
own
play
version of
him.
modern Major General.
Going back to the hot people that you were talking about earlier, all I'm just like imagining is like a bunch of dittos. Like and they're just like, they have ditto faces, but they're like really hot.
Someone who's good at Photoshop, please put a ditto face over top of Liara Sony.
I'd still marry her.
I'd still marry.
I'm just sick of movies where the alien turns out to be a hot chick and like the bland, unseasoned white guy gets together with the hot space alien that might be like pink. Like that might be the wild alien. I'm sick of seeing Captain Kirk fuck hot aliens. Like that's I want weird, crazy aliens that have sexualities that we can't comprehend. You know?
But done better. Not. I'm looking at you, James Cameron.
I mean, that's what he did. They're just like fucking like. I think so. I don't know anyone else remember Attack of the Show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's an episode of Attack of the Show, and they were interviewing. I don't remember if it was James Cameron directly or people from the art team about that movie. And there's a quote, and it was like above like when they were like working on stuff for like the main woman characters like must be bangable.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, when they were designing.
Yeah, that's why they had. That's another thing that I think should be done better in, like, make black women black and not aliens, please.
You know, I think the art team is telling on itself when they're just like, okay, let's get to the edge of bangable. Like let's see how far we're willing to go. And you know what? I have to say that their cocks are cowards. Fucking wusses.
It's just like, how limited is your imagination for the people that get to create these stories when it's like all alien races are vaguely humanoid?
Yeah.
Like that's why I kind of love the aliens from Alien. Because it's just like, I dare you to fuck. I dare you. I double dogged you.
2 mouths, one each for smooching. It's easy.
But I think that also tells you something that like we can design really wild and inventive and crazy looking aliens when the goal is that like nobody in the writing room was like, what if somebody wants to fuck the alien? Like nobody was
like, that's so, like scary.
Yeah, and it's just like we design things with the thought of, can we fuck it first?
It's a fuck forward approach.
Have you all read this amazing book, which is a feminist critique on horror film called The Monstrous Feminine?
I've not.
No.
I haven't, but I've heard.
It's really good. So it talks about like all these different movies and how they depict, you know, basically femininity, but in through a monstrous lens, right? So why is it horrorful? Why is it scary? Why do we think that way? Why do we like design it that way? And they talk about Alien, which is great because they're just like, everything is terrifying. The womb is terrifying. Like all the ways that, you know, the ship is designed, like the you know, the little aliens that pop out of her chest, like those things are terrifying because childbirth is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a very good
and the fact that it's a matriarchal system, I think, was designed to terrify cowardly dudes. And it's just like if you think about the alien, it looks like a dick, it fucks you, and it gets you pregnant. I think that's everything that straight cis dudes are afraid of. Because they're like, but I would have have the tick. I would have fucked and I would have get somebody pregnant. And it's a monster that's like, no. Yeah. Shut up. You're going to take it in the face.
You know what's terrifying? Human biology.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
Body horror there's a reason a whole genre is body horror.
I wish that we were like better, like there are aliens better designed with like better, like different kinds of intentions, right? Like maybe their whole intention is to just create a whole bunch of Chuck E. Cheeses. Like that's what I want. Just like experiential aliens that are obsessed with like, you know, the experience and like making happy experiences for themselves. Like a Chuck E. Cheese bullshit.
Can we be certain that Chuck E. Cheese is not an alien?
No, we absolutely cannot. And I think there's more evidence that says Charles Entertainment Cheese is not from this planet because their business style is go bankrupt every 10 to 15 years and rise from the ashes. Which is an absolutely wild business.
How else
I don't
do you
know
explain
how it
that
works.
but an outside the earth source of income?
Exactly.
Otherworldly income.
How are they doing it? They failed on whole continents and still come back.
My question is this. Disney tried to do the whole entertainment thing like Chuck E. Cheese. They did Disney Quest and they failed.
Failed like, miserably.
Think about that. Disney tried to do what Chuck E. Cheese does and failed miserably.
Charles Entertainment Cheese drop-kicked Disney out of the market. He walked in, he's like, you ain't got shit on me, mouse, and drop-kicked him out a window.
Oh, it's like two mice fighting one another.
Oh. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't think Chuck E. Cheese got bought by either of the big ones, and they still just exist.
They're just out here. listen, Charles and Tim and Cheese is a survivor. He's a rat. He's out here scrapping. He's like, you don't know what we got to do out here in the streets, Mickey Mouse. You have no idea what we do out here, Mickey. What's really funny, so in the 90s, when they recorded the first, like, when they were recording like new Chuck E. Cheese lines for ads and stuff, they used Disney Studios for the audio.
Wow.
And you have to imagine that they roll up like cocky as shit. Like Disney Quest just closed, like, oh, what's up? We're just gonna be in the studio. We got some ads to record for our pizza arcades. You might know about
by
it.
a rat, not a mouse.
You might know about that. Also, I love that Chuck E. Cheese tries so hard to be like he's not a rat. they push officially they push that he's a mouse. And the only reason he looks like the way he does is because when they got the suit, they got a rat suit instead of a mouse suit.
Do you remember Pizza Rat from like
so much about
There's a podcast about this.
This is what I do, Noir. This is what I do all day. I know too much about Charles and Entertainment Cheese and many other properties from the late 80s to early 90s. We talk about Caesarland next.
Wait, what's Caesarland?
Caesarland is another pizza arcade created by the Mike Ilitch, who's the Little Caesars guy. He started buying up old Chuck E. Cheese's in the 80s when they were going bankrupt one of their times, and slowly converting them by the first one opened in 1994, I believe. The last one closed in 2011. It was like a short-lived business venture, but it was a time when they were popular. So think Chuck E. Cheese, they were a little bit smaller. I think they used the extra kitchen space for storage is what they were doing. So they like expanded the kitchen space, made the play area a little bit smaller. They made like the ball pits and stuff a little bit shorter. So imagine Chuck E. Cheese, but Little Caesars Pizza instead. Yeah. They had like ball pits and games, that kind of vibe. They're a little bit cheaper.
Crazy bread, I'd be on board.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese did not. They might serve it now. They didn't back in the day.
So I'm looking at pictures of Caesarland, and it's not what I imagined. Like I was thinking, like
Julius Caesar.
Yeah, like Julius. Like what I'm imagining is what's like that casino?
Like a place in Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, like Caesar's Palace, but like that.
Do you have Little Caesars out there? Wait, do you just not know what Little Caesars is?
We have a Little Caesars. It's just like out of the way, kind of.
Gotcha. He is a Little Caesar man. Like he has he is meant to look like. Yeah,
it does not look like that.
No, it was pretty different. The last one, I believe, closed in 2011 in Southgate, Michigan, and is now a Pet Supplies Plus.
If they had branded it like Little Caesar, Caesar's Palace,
I feel
like they would have survived this.
Somebody hire Austin for their research team.
I just be doing this on my podcast. So like, if someone wants to run an ad and pay us, like we just do this shit for free weekly. Next week's episode is about Discovery Zone. So if you want to hear about Discovery Zone.
I remember Discovery Zone. Wow.
Yeah. Brenda drops knowledge on Discovery Zone next week for our episode, and it's pretty good. I was a Caesarland kid, so I didn't remember Discovery Zone too vividly. I went there once for a Power Rangers birthday, like for my birthday.
Discovery Zones were huge, man.
They were really big. Do you know how much it costs to open a Discovery Zone franchise?
How much?
$7 million, which is part of their downfall, because a franchise meant to be like, you can have a cool local spot that, like, you know, someone in the community owns. But I'm like, what community member can buy $7 million of like retail property? Like that's obscene.
Wild.
That is an obscene amount of money to like invest and think you will make your money back in. And people weren't, and that was the issue.
And you know what? That's why Charles.
That's why Charles Entertainment Cheese
undefeated,
supreme. Discovery Zone failed, and they bought like the old buildings. They're like, thank you for putting up the real estate. This is fantastic. We will now buy it from the bankruptcy court at cost.
I wonder if like there'd be a market for doing the same thing that they did with the old Blockbusters. Like the last Blockbuster that closed is now like a Airbnb.
Yes,
you can rent out,
really?
And they have it decorated.
Did you know Discovery Zone was owned by Blockbuster?
I did not.
No.
Yep, it was owned by Blockbuster, so their parent company was Viacom, because Viacom bought Blockbuster. And so at one point they were going to brand Discovery Zone like Chuck E. Cheese with like Nickelodeon characters.
Yeah.
But this is at a time that parents were getting very angry about advertising because it was when the kids from the 80s were becoming parents and they realized, oh wait, He-Man was just to sell me fucking toys. Wait a second. And they were making a lot of noise about ads and kid stuff. So a lot of people that stepped back. So people who didn't have branding were kind of stuck because they couldn't put in branding.
Yeah. Like, there was a whole thing in Canada about that concerned children's advertisers. Where like they're like, you know, you shouldn't be specifically targeting these ads to children. Like, so that children want to buy these things. Like, you should maybe aim things at parents. Yeah, there's a whole thing.
So I have a conspiracy theory.
What is it?
Here we go.
I think that we got on the track for the darkest timeline when Blockbuster refused to buy Netflix.
Oh my God, yes!
There's our
you were
linchpin
absolutely
event.
right. That is the wildest. We did a Blockbuster thing and it was so wild because they had the perfect moment. Netflix came to Blockbuster and was like, we should work together. And Blockbuster says, get the fuck out of here, kid. You don't know shit about movies.
God.
I think that if Blockbuster would have said yes to Netflix, consumed Netflix,
think about it.
We would be living in a different world right now.
Different world, society. Think about how society could function if that happened.
Wow.
But it's that, yeah.
No.
Cats
And you know whose
made.
fault that is? It's Viacom. Because Viacom was the parent company and they didn't want to, they saw them as competition and they're like, oh, they're coming to us, they're about to fail. So we'll just tell them no and they'll die and we can go back to just like being the top dog. And it was the opposite thing. And then Blockbuster tried to hop in on the whole Netflix market, but they had no infrastructure and it was too late and it seemed too thirsty.
Yeah, I think there would have been one streaming service because with Blockbuster's lineage, like HBO would have just bought in.
Yeah, everyone just buys in because Blockbuster was better for all of them because Blockbuster they made a bunch of like Blockbuster's business model was like, you give us your stuff and you will make way more money than if you just sell it to people. And so everyone would just buy in the Blockbuster because like I'm gonna make more money than if I start up my own thing because Blockbuster's been tried and true.
Yeah, and like I feel like the reason we have all these different streaming services is that Netflix got an attitude, and I think all these other companies are like, "Who the fuck are you?" You know who I am, bitch? I'm home box office.
How long we been in these streets? You have no idea what we do.
Hey, can I get your Blockbuster app password? I'm trying to watch season 19 of Breaking Bad.
But like we laugh, but don't that feel right? Don't that feel like it's the way it should have been?
It should have been that way. Honestly, I don't think Cats would have been made. Like, I really don't think that would have been made if Blockbuster took over Netflix.
Banana's like, step 1, Blockbuster buys Netflix. Step 15, we never get Cats, thank God.
But I love Cats. That's the thing. I also love Cats. I really do.
I've not seen it.
It's dystopian.
I tried to watch it. There's actually a whole Discord of a bunch of TTRPG folks who got together and tried to watch it. There's one scene in particular that, like, I'm not a coward. I have experienced, like, I've had a gun pulled on me. I have watched horror movies. I've done shit in my life. And I'm not easily afraid. There is a scene where Rebel Wilson, as a cat, eats like a rat that's also kind of a person or something. And I couldn't do it anymore. It was just like there's she rips.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, that whole thing was just weird.
She rips off her skin jacket and has another skin fur thing. Look, I've seen. I really do love fucked up movies. Like The Cell with Jennifer Lopez is one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen. I love it.
Mhm.
I've even seen a Serbian film. I don't recommend anybody else ever do it. But I could watch that.
Called a Serbian film?
Don't look it up.
Oh, you don't want to watch it.
No.
Okay.
Austin, don't do it.
I can't. I promise you, I'm not even. I was confirming it's called a Serbian film.
Yeah.
And not that you three were like mind linked and you said a Serbian film. Like, yes, that's Serbian film.
Yes, it's called a Serbian film. Look, if you are listening to this, I implore you, don't. Don't.
I just the most recent movie I've seen is Dogtooth. I don't know if anyone here's seen that. It's a German film.
Wait, that's not the werewolf one I was thinking of.
No, it's like a movie where the parents convince their teens that they're old enough to leave the house when they lose their dog teeth, which are your adult canine teeth. They call them Dogtooth. It's a interesting movie. It definitely has like content warnings for like parental abuse, obviously, because it's like the parents are like manipulating their adult children to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a lot of parental abuse content warning, but it's one it was like a psych film that we all watched.
Yeah, the 3 movies, if I could unsee them, I would in a second. Is a Serbian film, a French movie called Irreversible, which also do not
Save yourself.
The energy just changed when I was like, listen, don't see these movies.
And Cats.
Honorable mention to them.
Huh?
Honorable mention to them.
Them is a TV show, so I didn't count it. But I don't. You know what rant this is gonna take me down if you push me down this path. So just
we'll leave it.
Don't watch Amazon's Them, or don't watch any movie where racism gets superpowers. Maybe like yeah, it's not. That's
fun. A good disclaimer.
That's the whole point. Oh,
no, it's starting.
Deep breath. Deep breath. Contain it. Shove it down.
It's not working. All right, so let me put me on the clock. 10 minutes. I just need 10 minutes.
1 second. Let me just do a quick 10-minute timer here. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay, starting now.
If you haven't watched Amazon's Them and you don't want to be spoiled, just leave, I guess. I hate any form of art where they're like, we're going to show you empowerment by beating the shit out of you for like 9 episodes. If in one episode something good happens to you, don't you feel empowered? The entire theme of Them is that Black women are gods. The way that they show that is for 13 episodes, they beat the shit out of this Black woman's family, they gaslight her, they fucking call her all sorts of N-words, this, that. And if you are a white person and you get cast in one of these movies, I just want you to know I don't trust you. I love Jordan Peele, but I kind of wish he never made Get Out, because we're getting all these clones, or it's just like racism is the fucking bad guy, right? And like they're not doing it right. And it's just like we get this full empowerment by beating the shit out of somebody for 2 hours, and it sucks. And honestly, I'm sick of all these empowerment movies where they just like fucking just abuse people, or they take away their agency, or they live up, or they show the abuse, or they make a spectacle of abuse. And then like at the last 30 minutes, it's just like, I survived it. Aren't I strong? That's not what empowerment is. Can we stop that shit? They did it in fucking Them. They did it in fucking Captain Marvel, and they did it again in Black Widow. And I'm sick of this shit. You don't show that Batman is badass by having Batman, like, I don't know, whatever problems white guys have for 2 hours. Like,
they're out of my milk.
But the way that we're gonna show that these women superheroes are empowered, like fucking slapping them and beating them up, or going, girls can't do that, and just like fucking belittling them for like 2 hours, and then the last 30 minutes is just like, well, I did do that, aren't I great? No, fuck you, fuck this faux empowerment. Just treat them like you treat Batman. It's that simple. Okay, that's it.
Wow, you actually got that rant done in under 3 minutes. Congratulations.
What's wild to me, right, when we bring up the Batman point, there's so many Batman books and comics where he gets the shit beat out of him. Like, make one of those a movie. Like, Christopher Nolan's like, oh, Batman was hurt for 20 minutes in Dark Knight Rises, and like called it good. I was like, no.
And then somehow magically makes his way back to North America.
Yeah, he's just back now. Like, I want a movie where, for, like you said, for 2 hours, Batman just gets his teeth kicked in by like every single supervillain, just like gets his shit rocked. And then at the end, Barbara Gordon comes up and saves him.
You know what I really want? A Riddler movie, but like a Jim Carrey Riddler movie. So it's just him doing like the weirdest shit.
Please.
And that's just like the entire movie. Just him doing like a cat.
Jim Carrey was meant to be Dr. Robotnik. I just have to put that out there while I'm on this. Yeah. Like, it was, I couldn't, like, when they were making the Sonic movie, I was like, I don't know. And like, Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik, I was like, I'm listening. And then when I finally got to see it, I was like, this is the perfect movie. And it's because Jim Carrey is here. He is just absolutely beautiful and meant to play that role. And he's also meant to be Riddler. I don't know who they got for this like Robert Pattinson movie that's like got Riddler, and it's not Jim Carrey. And I'm like, well, it's not going to be good.
You ever see There Will Be Blood?
I have not.
Okay. It's the white guy from that movie.
Okay.
That's all I know him from.
They're like trying to get me to see this Robert Pattinson Batman movie because they have like a black Catwoman, they got a black Jim Gordon, and I'm like, so you made the black guy the cop, so I wouldn't be mad about cops, okay? Listen, like, I'm gonna see it, but I'm gonna complain the whole time.
Daniel Day-Lewis?
No, the younger one.
Oh.
Here, let me pull it up.
Paul Dano?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, I don't know him. But I do know Daniel Day-Lewis. Not like in person, just like
his body of work.
Cool if you did.
Yeah.
You ever like a movie? Like, you ever like watch a movie ironically and then you end up liking it? That's what happened with me in There Will Be Blood. Like, I only watched it for that one part. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up, Daniel. Like, and then like I kept watching that scene. I was like, let me watch 5 minutes before that scene. And then it was like, let me watch 10 minutes before that scene. And then it turned out to be like, let me watch this whole movie. I hate that I kind of like that movie. But by the way, this is a TTRPG.
I mean, we did, at least we got intros out of the way.
So let's kind of take a look at where we've gone. We've talked extensively about Chuck E. Cheese,
Mothman
cryptids, fucking cryptids, aliens, cowardly cocks.
We've made some ground.
We have.
Yeah, we've kind of been all over the place.
It's been a productive morning.
I know, right? So let's at least
good job steering the ship back, babe.
Yeah, I'm fighting it. Let's pretend to be a show that knows what it's doing. So Austin, Banana, thank you for coming here. Tell us a little bit about like your projects.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'm
No,
trying.
you see, it's the second hour of the show, and like all morning shows, like the second hour rolls around, they like switch gears.
Oh, gotcha. I'm just
we just did it in reverse, where we like did the not unfocused bit, and then
It's because you have two hosts that have ADHD.
Real bad.
Real bad.
I don't know who. Someone said Chuck E. Cheese, and that was it. I'm like, well, this is. I don't care. I don't know what I'm on this show for. I'm doing it again. So Banana, please talk.
Freaking bananas back, baby.
What are we talking about again?
We're talking about TTRPGs. Tell us about the projects that you're working on.
Projects.
Oh, Austin and I are working on a thing.
Yes. And it doesn't involve Chuck E. Cheese, but now I'm thinking it should.
Okay.
Somebody please come up with the Chuck E. Cheese patron, please.
It's me. No, everyone back off. It's me. It's mine. Get out of here. We're working on a thing. It's called Deimos Academy.
Okay. Sure, cool.
It's a GM-less horror TTRPG where you and some buds are you and some other alumni, maybe you're not friends anymore, I don't know. It's your table. Are going back to your creepy boarding school for a reunion.
Ooh.
Yes, that is our game.
It's the game.
So we've got a spooky academy that we're going back to?
Yes, it is an old boarding school that you used to go to, and now you're adults and you're returning for your 15-year reunion, and you get to color things in based on like stuff that you remember. You can draw things in, draw in your fears, and you also have like a deck of memories that you build together. And so throughout the game, as you're rolling dice, as you're like collecting these memories, sometimes you might not be able to collect the memories, so you rip up the cards.
Oh shit! And this is a GM-less game. Like, is it in production or is it already out and available?
It will be going to Kickstarter, hopefully in September, given the state of the world and things that are happening.
I mean, yeah,
now.
there's only a portal to hell in the ocean. It's fine.
Yeah, we're just gonna pretend it's not there and launch a Kickstarter.
What else do you do?
Yeah, exactly. What else?
I think perfect time for a horror game, personally. When else? There's
honestly
great inspiration for you and your other players at the table right now going on in the world. So
yeah.
I am very excited for people to see this. I'm very excited for people to see some of the stuff that Banana's done for this game, because your ability to keep us focused is impeccable. Because Lord knows I would not be done if you weren't like, Austin, you need to go like finish writing that section. Austin, please write your foreword.
Can we talk about Austin's writing though? Because I mean, your writing on this was really, I mean, I can't spoil it because it's still in production, but it's really good and it's really creepy.
I can't. Have you all ever run a Kickstarter before, or is this your first?
First.
Yeah, this will probably be, in terms of like co-creating, it's probably my 5th or 6th. But like officially as a Kickstarter thing, it's probably going to be under our name, under the Game and Curry name, which is my publishing company. It's probably going to be our 2nd.
nice.
So first off, I love how casually you say something as dope as my publishing company. That is really cool.
That's a power move.
That
right
is
there.
really cool.
Yeah, that I don't know. I have no. Every time I'm in like a meeting with Banana, I am just like, I have to like hold back fanning because like we're homies, but I'm like, I don't know how I'm homies with you because you're like fucking incredible. I like everything you do. You're like an absolute force of nature in this scene, and I'm like, I get to like,
you are a juggernaut in the scene. Can't
Oh my
confirm.
god!
I get to like hang out and like make games with Banana and just like chill. That's what absolutely wild.
Oh no! Am I coming across quiet?
Just a little bit quiet.
Shit.
can-
What do I do? How do I do?
Move closer to your mic.
Does this sound better?
Uh,
Hello, I'm very close to the mic.
If you go into the Zoom on like your audio settings, it could be that your mic volume is really low.
Preferences. It is. Wait, is it? Is this better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, hey.
There we go.
But absolutely, you are a juggernaut in the space. I've heard quite a bit about some of your other games. Would you like to talk about some of your other projects?
If you don't, I will.
Yeah.
So we just finished another Kickstarter last year for Zhang Shidlan, the Banquet Hall, which is a game that Senful Lim and I worked on, which is about a Chinese American family running a restaurant in the 1920s with vampires, with hopping vampires, and you're just trying to like run a restaurant while these vampires are attacking everyone.
Aren't racists also like a bad guy in that game?
Yeah, so the vampires take on the metaphor for the racism.
Nice.
And like you still have like, the police that like come by to your restaurant every so often to like, annoy you. But at the core of the game, the core is about the family and sticking together as a family and, trying to get through these weird vampires that are attacking everyone.
That's so fucking sick. I love that.
Oh, thanks.
I played it with Banana, Steve, KP, Nala. Was that all of us? Was that it? On Prince Roll Dice, right?
Yeah.
We did that, and it is to this day still one of the most fun times I've had playing. It's like top 3. It was such an incredible game. Steve did such an incredible job running it. It was so much fun. Because there's the language mechanic you have of like you can only like. I was a family member who could understand like I like was fluent in English and understood like some Chinese, and it was so fun to like try and RP that and like what that meant, because I think Panani, you played the grandma and you like couldn't understand them talking English at all.
Yeah.
And it's like so fun to like think about that at the table of like how are you like all communicating as a family, because like I think I was still really close to grandma. I just like had a hard time communicating with her.
Yeah, I think grandma was preoccupied with chain smoking and wanting to go gamble or play mahjong somewhere.
So also, I've got to ask you, because I've had the opportunity to play games with the creators of the game. I feel like that adds another level of like nervousness for me. But I know that you and Banana are like chill as hell. But I mean, does playing a game with the creator, like, does that like make you nervous at all, or it feels like if I was running it, I'd be nervous as shit. I have no idea how Steve was like running it for you. I would be like, "Oh, do you want to run this game?" The creators and be there. No.
Fair.
No.
Valid.
But being a player, I know it just felt like it felt freeing in a way, because I was like, I'm gonna do this, and the GM's not saying anything, and the creator's right there, and they're not saying anything, so it must be okay. It was also just exciting too, because it's like, if there is a question, I didn't want to like direct questions at Banana, but it's the idea of like, if none of us can figure out an answer, like the creator's right here, kind of thing. And I don't know, and also just feels like I have like nerd cred, like. When I run it for people, it's like, I don't know. I play with the creator. What do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you know?
I'll be honest. I don't remember half of the stuff I write.
Also fair and valid.
Like, I don't understand this whole thing where it's like the creators will know their rules. I turn it out and I forget it.
I mean, listen.
It leaves my brain. It leaves my brain.
Yeah.
Every playtest we've done for Deimos, it's been like, I feel like people ask us if we're running like playtesters and like, oh, what's next? And I'm like, what is next? What? And it's always like, what version of this are we playing? Which one did I give you the playtest? That's always a thing. I remember, for my podcast that I do weekly, I'll like do a bit, like we'll do a joke or something, and someone will text me about it, because we record the week before everyone hears it. and someone's like, this episode was so good. I loved like this part. And I'm like, yo, you got to break it down for me because I just recorded a different one. And I have no idea. Or someone that listens to an episode from a month ago, I'm like, I'm going to need you to tell me exactly what you liked. Because that is super gone from my head. 100% don't remember what you're talking about.
It's like a rapper that only does one take. It's just like, look, baby, all I do is drop hits. Which one you talking about?
Also, just playing games, man, it's great.
Yeah, I was just about to ask Banana, like, what's it like being the creator of a game, playing it on stream? Like, you know, I was gonna ask if like there's some flexing that goes on, like, that's not the rule.
No, honestly, it's so much better than running it because I am not that I'm like sick of running my own game or anything. It's just that like it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And I get like really tired of like running the game over and over again because we play tested it so much, and then we're doing our media circuit where we're just like running the game even more. So it's like I've probably run this game a little too much now, so I'm like ready to be a player. I'm ready to play some other games. I'll play anything. Just I'm ready to move on.
It's like, is it like weird curse of like you're the forever GM, but you're the forever GM for one game for like 2 years?
Yeah, exactly.
I was just about to ask, like, I can imagine like there are musicians that get tired of playing the same song night after night after night. Do you kind of get tired of being defined by like one of your games? Like, do you ever kind of wish, like, when somebody's like, I love this game that you make, like, is there ever the instinct to go, but what about this other game? you filthy casual.
I think it started like that initially. Like, so for a while, I started writing LARPs, right? This was like probably 5 or 6 years ago. So I started writing LARPs, and then I started writing modules for kids on bikes. So one of the modules I wrote was Dads on Mowers, and for a while
I love that one. That is my favorite.
Thanks. For a while that was like all I ran for like 6-7 months, I don't know. And then after a while it's just like, I kind of want to do something else. Can I do something else? So yeah, it's just like having to shift gears is nice.
Yeah.
And now everyone wants me to run Junction for them, which is great, because at least I'm not riding Dads on bikes anymore. But still, it's just like, okay, like sometimes I'm ready to move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Dads on Mowers was my favorite of the ones that came out in that little pack.
Oh, thank you. It's very silly.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just Dream Daddy, but kids on bikes.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't get the Dream Daddy license. I can't get the Dream Daddy license. So I'm just like, screw it.
Then as soon as I get that Dream Daddy license, it's over for all of you. It's over. It's over. Dream Daddy, if you're watching, call me.
Austin and I have a new project now.
The official Dream Daddy.
It's time for pictures.
Listen, we'll do it right. Just listen. Here's out. Listen. We can get a meeting. We will convince you.
Yes, we will do pitches, because I've done too many pitches lately too.
To be honest, though, if you were to call up the people that did Dream Daddy and be like, "We want to make a TTRPG up like based on your property," they'd probably be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hey.
Listen. Just ask.
Hey, somebody out there, make it happen. You find whoever has that license, and you make this happen. We hunt them down like animals until it happens.
Just the art direction alone in that book would be like...
Oh, I love the art. The art's so good.
I'm still yet to play Dream Daddy.
It's fantastic.
Do we need to stream this? You and me playing Dream Daddy on...
I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Let's do it.
Right.
I don't know what Dream Daddy's about.
Dads dating dads.
Yeah, it's a dating sim.
Oh, Oh, yeah, hell yeah, let's play that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Monster Camp.
Monster
Camp.
Yeah.
That's the only dating sim that I've played.
I always get there's that, and then there's Monster Hearts, right?
Yes.
Monster Hearts is the TTRPG one. That is
I
incredibly
eternally will get them confused forever.
Me too. I had no idea how horny Monster Hearts was until I played it. It was just like, whoa, this game is horny.
Have you played the pigeon dating sim?
No.
Hatoful boyfriend? Yes. It gets
Yes.
very weird.
Oh yeah. It's super
I'm sorry,
weird.
the what?
Pigeon dating sim.
Yes.
You heard us
For
correctly.
pigeons.
Y'all can't just say pigeon dating sim like you did just say pigeon dating sim.
Yeah. It's called Hatoful boyfriend.
Pigeon?
No, you are a girl attending an elite pigeon academy.
Am
You are an exchange student. That is a
Am
human
I trying to
exchange
fuck
student.
a pig? If I try to fuck a pigeon baby, is that what this game is about?
Yes.
It's not about that.
It's not about that. But then, like, as you unlock, like, all the different... You unlock all, like, your romance partners. Sorry, I just sounded a little bit Dimension 20 there. Romance partners?
Romance partner?
As you unlock all the romantic options, eventually you uncover the plot of the story. And it's real weird in, like, the best anime way possible.
This is why there's a portal to hell in the We deserve
I mean,
this
you're just trying to get some cloaca.
as
Like, I don't know what the problem is here.
We've turned away from the light, Lord. Like, you know what? Mothman cakes, I understand. Sure, why not? Incident fiction. We trying to get some beak. That's where I draw the line. That's where I'm done. I can't wash my hands on this. I'm not involved in this. No. Mothman is hot. What is? You know what? Okay. I gotta steer this shit back because I'm.
I'd sit on their
pulling
eggs
those
if you know what I mean. I love our chat.
So no Air Crocra for Noir, then.
No.
Oh no! Please no!
Okay, that's fine.
Please, God, no.
No, God, no!
Oh.
Please, God!
This show's great. I'm having a great. I was so nervous. This is going great.
Oh my god, these puns. Everyone's flocking to it. May as well give it a go, wing it.
I'm so genuinely upset. Is that real? Like, when it's like in the pit of your stomach?
But yeah, spoilers for Hatoful Boyfriend if you haven't played it. It turns out that most of the human race has been wiped out by a plague and pigeons have become sentient, and that's why there's a Pigeon Academy. There was a war between pigeons and men.
No, that makes sense.
And you're like one of the last surviving humans.
Honey, why do you know this?
Because I played the game! Ow.
Cat.
You know what? The cat did my bidding.
Claws stuck in the back.
I thought it real hard. The cat was like, "I'm on it, chief."
You should be ashamed of yourself, Ash.
So I'm gonna steer this ship away from the hell portal.
Mm-hmm.
I've got other questions. So we've got your Spooky Academy game.
Mm-hmm.
What other projects do you all have going on? I know that there are a few shows that you're on, Austin.
Yeah.
What do you got happening?
I've got happening. On Mondays, I'm on Mind and Martyr over on French Roll Dice as Naomi. She is my bimbo ranger doing her best to understand what's going on. She joined the cast late. She's kind of lost the plot. She accidentally woke up a god that was trying to sleep, but they're here now. She's doing her best to help her friends.
What kind of character picture? I'm sorry.
She's a ranger, technically.
Technically.
My bimbo ranger doing her best. Woke up a god.
Lost the plot.
Lost the plot. That's pretty much, to be fair, she never really knew what the plot was because she joined and I joined this game about 2 months ago, but they're about to hit episode 50 and I have yet to watch their old episodes. So me and Naui are both finding out together who they have beef with. I like see someone, I'm like, oh, a friend. They're like, no, we hate them. Like, why aren't they dead? And it's like, well, it's someone's sister. And I'm like, oh God, that seems like very dramatic. So are we gonna fight them or let them go? Okay, but she wants to kill. Okay, no, that's fine. She wants to kill us, but we're letting her go. All right, that's sure. You know what? I don't really have a vote. I just got here. I don't know what's going on. And then I'm also on Donuts and Duels over on Utopia. I record that later today, actually. That's a Kids on Broom show.
Nice.
I don't have anything else I'm on right now. I'm like winding down because my partner's having a baby next month. So I'm kind of like rounding my circuit because I'm about to be on hiatus for a little bit. But I was on more stuff
now.
Yeah, that's it. Just plugging away.
On, Waverly Summer 98.
I was on that. Yeah. That did happen. I don't.
That's where we saw you first. Was after KP was on the show.
Yes.
He pointed to us in that direction.
Yeah, playing with KP was great for that show. I really enjoyed being Leon. Leon was a comic book like fanatic and pop culture junkie because I am, so it made it very easy to RP because Leon knew. The hardest part was because I asked the GM, I was like, what week is it? And they gave me the week and I was like, okay. And so I tried to reference things from like that week of media. So I knew a lot about June 1998 summer. Yeah. That was a big summer. We got the X-Files movie and Mulan in the same 2 week span. Big weekends in a row.
Winding down by launching a Kickstarter. That's fair, Werewolf Field.
Shush! I've extensively explained I will not be too heavily involved once the Kickstarter launches. I don't control how time and space operates.
You're only on like what, 5 interviews? Yeah,
I just have a bunch of interviews and shows that I'm on and like 2 things I'm writing. It's fine. Because I'm writing for Archon. But my plan is like, I'll just finish it before the baby's here. I'll just give myself a very fast due date.
Just a quick turnaround.
It's fine.
It's never too early to get your baby a streaming setup and get them casting games, you know?
I was like, if I put the harness on and face them away from me so the whole world doesn't see their face without their consent, it's fine, right?
You just put the baby in a papoose and just cover up the papoose.
I'll just put the crib like right here, you know, like off camera and just like I'm like, what are you doing? I'm rocking the baby. It's chill. We're super okay. They sleep great.
I mean, that's probably less maintenance than like I've got my cats right here, which isn't it all the same thing? But like occasionally you'll see me reach over to like scratch an ear.
See, it works fine. Yeah. It works super okay.
And then occasionally they jump on me and dig their claws into my arm.
See, a baby would not do that.
That's
there
fair.
You go. Babies just
or if a baby did put claws into your arm, that's one badass baby. I'm just saying.
It's like an alien.
There's no bad answer. I love my baby has superpowers, I think. I don't see a way that could possibly go wrong.
I worry about my baby if I ever have a baby, like having extremely lucky rolls because I would take it back. Like, cause I mean, look, we're all TTRPGers. At some point, you're gonna give your baby a D20 just to see what happens, just to see if they throw it and real consistent 20s. If they do, I'm signing up in more games and I'm never lose.
So I have a story about this. My best friend Kaylin, we were in a D&D game just after she had like a couple months after she had her baby, Hazel, and they were like, I still want to play D&D, like I want to be back in the group. I'm like, okay, well let's make Hazel your pseudo dragon familiar, and I made a big D20, a big paper D20 that Hazel could roll. Hazel rolled a natural 20. Everybody cheered, and she burst into tears. Because it was a loud noise and it scared her.
Yeah, babies don't. You can't sudden noise a baby. They don't know what's happening.
But like we were talking about her, like I went and visited with them. We watched Black Widow, and we went for dinner afterwards, and we were discussing how Hazel is like the cutest nerd kid, and at 3 years old it wants to do a Mandalorian cosplay that is pink.
Oh, nice.
But just wants to be like,
the way.
Yeah, it wants to be like a pink Mandalorian that has Grogu.
Nice.
Like,
I can't wait for that OC.
Yeah, I'm here for this.
Every now and then there is a TikTok that has like a nerd and a nerd baby, and they're doing adorable nerd and nerd baby shit.
Yeah.
And there's part of my lizard brain that's like, have child. Have child.
Like the Chewbacca baby that's making the little growly noises. Ooh, that punched me right in the ovaries.
Yeah, I had to drink immediately after seeing that. Like, no! I like being selfish. I can barely take care of myself.
I can't wait to be a nerd pan. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be, I'm gonna be insufferable.
Could you imagine being like a nerd parent and having your baby grow up to be a jock?
My partner keeps asking me, like, what do we do? And I was like, well, then we just have like, my partner's like terrified. Like, what if they want to play sports? I was like, well, then we just go to sports shit. I don't know. That's it. That's
learn
it.
Sports shit. That's how it works.
You just go to,
like
listen, when they're a kid,
football.
they don't know anything anyway. We'll just learn when they learn it.
Like, you know, I've had conversations like that with ignorant folks, and they ask like, what if the baby's this and what if the baby's that, for like shit that's not a problem. There's only one thing that my child could ever say to me where I would disapprove to the point of like having to excuse myself as to not say anything hurtful, and that is if they ever walked up to me and said, Dad, I'm a Packers fan. Like, I would just be like, I need you to leave the room. Like, just get out. Just go. Leave me be.
Which sport is that?
That's football.
Okay.
Look, if you want a nerd kid, but the kid is into sports, the solution is easy. Sword fighting. Lauren will always advocate for sword fighting.
Well, there we go. There we go.
What if they get into boffer LARPing?
What did you just say?
Boffer LARPing? So
Yeah.
it's LARPing, but with swords.
With foam
Like
swords.
little
They're called
little foam
boffers.
bats.
Yeah. That's a sport, right?
It's-
I don't know.
It can
I
be.
think it counts. I'm trying to think of all the things that my child could say that would like be disappointing, but I'd still be supportive. Like, the only TTRPG is Dungeons and Dragons. I love you, child. I love you.
By the time the kid's old enough for that, we surely would have evolved past the need for saying that, right? Surely society would move forward, hopefully.
You'd hope. That's the hope.
I can only assume at this point everyone in the world's going to start playing Kids on Brooms because of Abria, so...
Yes. Summer of Abria.
Summer of Abria.
I got like deep rooted like D&D people from like my Facebook like that are watching like, oh, you ever heard of this game Kids on Brooms? I'm going to try. I was like, listen, no offense. I've been actively playing in a Kids on Brooms show that I've sent you the link to. What are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? How are you going to say? Yes, I've heard of Kids on Brooms. Yes, I will play
I'm
it.
vaguely familiar. I think I've heard of it.
So what are you talking about?
Have you heard of
4
this thing
months?
called Dungeons and Dragons? I might know a little bit.
Okay.
It's some sort of small indie game, I guess.
This awoke. So I was at my baby shower, and one of the many baby showers we've had. This was the family one. Everyone was vaccinated, and so we're at the baby shower, And I haven't I don't really use Facebook anymore, so all my aunts don't know what I've been up to at all.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what you been doing? And I was like, oh, work stuff's been fine, blah blah blah. Started running for games and stuff. And they were like, video games? And I was like, no, table. I was kind of board games, tabletop RPGs. And I don't know what that is. And I was role play. It's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but I was I haven't written stuff for that or those people at all or anything. And they're like, what's that? And in my head, I'm like, you were there. I know you know what Dungeons and Dragons is. You have to. You were there in the 80s. Everyone knew what it was then. You're making this so. It was so bizarre because I haven't interacted with anyone who doesn't know game stuff.
Yeah.
In 18 months. Everyone in my life knows what knows.
Right.
And so I was trying to explain what I've been doing. And the rules and stuff. And I was because I'm not a rules writer. I was no, I write more lore and setting and flavor text and story. I was I do more of that stuff. I'm not great at roll 2d8. I don't know. I'm is that balanced? I don't know. I'm bad at that. And they no, absolutely not. Could not understand.
Did you tell them that you worked on Stranger Things? Maybe that'll get it.
Oh no, that would maybe.
You did what now?
No, I mean that's the best way to describe it, right? It's Stranger Things. That's a media touchstone most people know, right?
Yeah. No, I did not work on Stranger Things. I promise I'd be much more on my bullshit if I worked on Stranger Things.
I only play the official Charles Entertainment Cheese TTRPG. You probably haven't heard of it.
We're gonna get away from Chuck E. Cheese. I swear to God.
No, because
I don't know.
Because Charles Entertainment Cheese is encrypted according to Salad.
Oh my God.
I don't know how he's not at this point. And Frank, I'm sorry. You invited me on, and it was bound to happen. I'm sorry. The moment you were do you want to be on the show? It was too late. It was you miscalculated.
Chuck E. Cheese was in the background, good, proselytize my word. So we have a segment on the show called the Bad Guy segment, which we do on the second half. I'm gonna ask a question that's kind of close to it, but not exactly that. Which is, you have both worked on creating games from scratch. What's the last time somebody was talking to you about TTRPG you didn't know a goddamn thing about it? When was the last time somebody was just well, actually, when have you been last actually? Because it happened to me recently, and I enjoyed the experience immensely.
I think close to the beginning of the pandemic, for sure, on Twitter, when I was less curating my Twitter feed and stuff. Definitely there was someone who was took my explanation of how to do a TTRPG type of thing and reiterated it and then said, no, this is how it works. And I was but that's just what
that's literally what I said.
Text. This is text. It's not verbal. If it was verbal, then I'd be second guessing myself. But if this is all text, then I have proof.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
I don't know. I can't think of last time I got actually for TTRPG stuff. I can think of it for many, 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 many things that I have other expertise in, but I can't think of.
That's good.
I think it was. I got actually for a D&D thing that was very innocuous of someone as I'm looking at my sheet and someone telling me what it is, I'm that's not true. But I don't know, probably I used to get into shit with people on Twitter, so probably something there.
I love my Twitter beefs. They're fun.
What? So when was the last time that you got actually, Noir?
Oh, somebody on TikTok was talking to me I didn't know anything about.
Oh, that was and then
yeah. It there's something about films and people of color that whenever they say anything, it kind of feels like there has to be some guy with an anime profile picture.
Every time it's the anime profile picture.
And
Every time.
they race towards their keyboard to go, no! Like, it was like I was just randomly thinking when you're talking about having conversations with non-gaming folks, like, are there any gaming folks that are talking to you that way? Here is a question. There is a war going on in the TTRPG community.
Oh boy.
There are two sides, technically three, but one of the sides is made out of cowards. One side believes that dice are meant to be crunched. They are the forbidden candies. And the other side believes that you should not put dice in your mouth because it's gross. So, my question to you is, what side of this army are you on? And just to give you all some context and clarity, so far this season we have asked Brendan Lee Mulligan, and he is my hero, but he's also a goddamn coward who chose the side of do whatever makes you happy as long as you're being safe. You know, like a coward.
Crunch responsibly.
Then there is me, Dave, who very much like me thinks that crunching dice are fucking disgusting. Don't do that. Don't put dice in your mouth. Then we have Abria, Summer of Abria. And Abria is funding this war. She works for a dice company and she's trying to make them as appealing as possible so more people chew on the dice so they have to buy more dice. It's really sinister and malicious.
Abria will always choose chaos, though.
Well, you know what? I truly believe that Abria on her downtime is very much Don Corleone. I'm going to take over both Critical Role and Connection 20 and anything else because I'm a goddamn gangster. And she exposed herself on this show telling us she's working like a puppeteer in the background. So
she is a dice warmonger in this war.
Yes. So
weaponizing the crunch.
What side of this war do you two find yourselves on? Do you crunch on Austin? Austin?
What are you putting in your mouth?
No.
Well, okay, we do need to get that sponsorship from Abria, so
no one can stop me. Dice are meant to be crunched. I have a dice cookie cutter, if that makes you feel better.
No, it doesn't, because that means you have a way
to sustainably and safely eat dice.
Dice, and you choose to crunch on this is disgusting. How about you, Banana? How are you feeling about this? Do you crunch on dice?
Long may you crunch.
I personally would not, but I really find the sponsorship idea very appealing. So I approve of it, but I will not do it myself.
Like a true leader.
Crunch on your own time.
Do you see the shady backroom dealings happening in the TTRPG community? We need reform. We need change. And if you vote for me president of TTRPG, I will get these crunches out of here.
I don't think we vote. I'm pretty sure Bria's queen, and I don't think she's stepping down.
It's a Bria's world. We're just living in it.
Somebody woke up with a horse head on their pillow.
But that is a crotch sellout.
I'll accept that.
I'm
If it's a Bria that's in charge of all of this, then yeah, I'm selling out.
I'm waiting for Abria to be like the GM for the McElroys and be like, yeah, actually, my last name is Abria Iyengar McElroy.
You know what? Now I'm on my brother. There's a new podcast name. It's my brother, and Abria.
And
my
Abria.
brother, and Abria.
Where's the last brother? And Bria's like, I've always been here. What are you talking about?
I swear to God, Abria's gonna start popping up this shit that has nothing to do with TTRPG, and we're all gonna be like,
like I said,
it's not stopping.
Be proclaimed the God Empress of Earth, and we would have no choice but to accept this as facts. This is the reality we live in now.
Abria for Ironheart. Let's get her in the MCU.
Yeah.
Let's get Abria in the MCU. That's my goal.
It's been so weird because like friends that I have IRL know that I've interacted with Brie on Twitter. We are not. I'm like I think she knows of me. Like it's at that stage, and people text me like, "Oh my god!" Like I feel like people like. It's weird to get like people to clout chase after me that I like know in real life because I'm like I'm like not like friends with her. She will sometimes engage with me on Twitter and she's a delight. She's a delight of a person. Yeah. I cannot get you like in front of Matt Mercer if that's what you think. Please stop texting me. Like I don't. That is not what's going on here. I just like know these people because the industry is extremely small. If you just come hang out, like you'll meet people. There's like 8 of us.
Okay.
You had that happen, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I completely understand and respect that. I don't know how Abria is not a bigger deal than Matt Mercer. Mm-hmm. Like, here's what I mean by that. I've got this belief that we as a society just inherently undervalue Black women in general.
Yeah.
Like Black women are out here winning literally all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Like
correct.
Like they're single-handedly snatching all the gold medals in every sport. Like it's only a matter of time before a Black woman is just like, you know what, I feel like dominating NASCAR. Like and so we've got Abria out here who is single-handedly dominating the TTRPG space.
Absolutely.
She is the GM for Critical Role and Dimension 20
at the same time.
At the same goddamn time.
Same fucking time.
Summer of Abria.
And like Summer of Abria, like the reverence that people still have for Matt Mercer, like I understand it because Matt Mercer is amazing, but Abria is out here doing something that Matt
and nobody done before.
Nobody's done this before.
Right. And so I'm waiting to see when people throw that same shine on Abria that they have for Matt. And like we're all joking like Summer of Abria, we're like really happy, but like there's still this air of like there was a scene in one of the in Exandria Unlimited that kind of personified how I see the reaction, which is like there was a rule question and somebody looked at Matt and was like, hey, whoa, you looked at me.
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like that perfectly exemplifies like people are still looking at Matt like, yo, you are the end all be all of GMing, and it's just like, yo, Quiddy is out here running the gamut. Like when is her name going to be said with the same reverence? That's what I'm waiting for. And there's a large percentage of people that it's not happening. And then there are people that are throwing out critiques and complaints about these new shows that said nothing about Critical Role or Exandria, Critical Role or Dimension 20, and it's a little frustrating. Yeah, that's me. I'm off my soapbox now.
No, I mean I think it's exactly true. I know, like when I watch Exandria Unlimited, I watch it like on my TV via YouTube because it has the captions because their Twitch doesn't have captions. And so I had a friend tell me, because I'll watch it live on YouTube, but I don't watch it live on Twitch, and a friend was telling me like, oh, it's so dumb, like how low the Twitch numbers are. And I'm like, oh, I don't watch on, like, I don't look at that. And like someone was just telling me like that like has been watching Critical all the time, like the numbers are even lower. And it's just like so weird because I'm like, it's the two shows are maybe the most fun I've had watching any TTRPG content in a long time. For sure this year, I can't think of a time I've like enjoyed someone's like leadership as the GM more than watching her lead people. And I'm personally still waiting for like Abria to come out and be like, here's like her, you know, like 40 episode long show or whatever. Like both of these are really good. And I'm hoping that this isn't, I know it's not the last we'll see Abria in the chair, but I'm hoping it's not the last we see Abria in like with a platform that big.
I'm really hoping that she gets her own platform. Like, I mean, I can't imagine being in those two chairs and not being able to get a chair of her own. And if she can't, or if people are reluctant to follow, I think that says a lot about our community. And there's already a lot of unflattering shit that has been exposed because of this, but you know, there's also been some great stuff. So I just, you know, that's, I'm not making sense, I'm just making sounds. So
I think it's making sense.
I agree.
You know, I feel like people inherently don't want to root for femmes and black people, or people of color in general. Like, they want to root for white dudes. Like, we've been trained all our life to kind of want to root for white dudes. Every protagonist you've seen in everything that you love has been a white guy, so you are inherently rah-rah behind them. So it's kind of, when you see somebody else like fucking killing the game, like I recently played with for the first time in a very long time a table full of dudes, and it was awful. Like it was not it. And a lot of the driving force behind the popularity of TTRPG is not just the pandemic. It, like, the TTRPG was already taking, the community was already taking off well before the pandemic hit. And that's because women POCs in the queer community have fucking revitalized it. There are new perspectives. We're not all playing the same boring shit. Like, and you know, I think that's also personified by the whole TSR shenaniganery that happened recently, where it was just, you know.
I mean, when I hopped on Twitter and eventually got linked up, so like I was on Twitter, I didn't really know where my place was going to be, and then my friend Adam Bass is in games, and I was following him, and like he retweeted like something from Banana, and like I think Banana was like the first person I followed in the scene, and then like I slowly started finding other people, and finding creators like Banana, finding creators like you guys, as just like 100% changed my life, because I didn't know. I mean, I know there could be like space for me as like a creator at this table, and even knowing that and seeing like the stuff that like people can do, like Noir, when I got to play a few in that playtest for Magpie for the Avatar game, I was like, I didn't know you could like do this. This is fucking blowing my mind. When I got to play Jiangxi for that Banana Man, it's like, I didn't know games could do this. This is blowing my mind. And like knowing that the world is bigger like that, like is just like really amazing.
I think it's when you open yourself up to new experiences and new perspectives, 9 times out of 10, it's you don't come away you don't come away with not necessarily a bad experience, but you don't come away not learning something and not finding out something new about yourself and about other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's kind of funny. I love hearing that story also, where it's just like you just kind of joined Twitter and you found a voice that you can cling on to, and that voice inspired you to try something. Because I also have a story like that. Like for me, it was Super Dylan. It was Diana. Like I would watch Diana do a TikTok, and I would be like, well, I kind of want to try a TikTok. You know, I watched Diana like write something, and I was like, well, maybe I can write something. And what I love about this community is that, what I love about the community is that when we're at our best, when we are what I know that we can be, it's not enough for us to create. We want to also inspire creation. That's the entire point of this. That's why games like yours, Banana, are so compelling, because it's not just about the fact that I'm playing a game, but it's showing that it's possible to make a game, and it's inspiring me to want to tell my own stories. It's just like, well, there's some things in my life that I would love to build a mechanic for and kind of like share with people. And I just love that at our best we offer a hand to other people and go, get in here, you can do this too. And I feel like we definitely need that, and that's how the TTRPG space was taken over, taken back from the grognards. Because we all, I'm not gonna say we all, because I don't know everybody's experience, but I think at some point we have been to or attempted to go to a table that genuinely just didn't want us. And you can only reject so many people from your table before they find out, oh, we've got enough of us to make our own table. And they make a better one. And that's what's happened. And that's why the grognards are mad. That's why TSR vanished into the night. Like they, you can't just check people anymore. You can't just other people and think that you can succeed, because it doesn't work that way. You don't get the right to exist if you don't open up for everybody.
When you're the only game in town, it's easy to think that you just run the space. But when people start popping up and making their own things because they felt othered or marginalized, yeah, absolutely. RPGs are not just a medium, I think, for storytelling. I think they're a medium for change, and they're a medium for growth. Personal, like professional. All in all, like TTRPGs are not just a growing industry, they're a growth industry. Because they teach us things that we didn't know about ourselves.
All right. And let me just wave goodbye at any chance of ever being casted in anything involving Wizards of the Coast. Like, let me just bury that hope real quick and just say, Wizards is on borrowed time if they don't get their shit together. I truly believe that. If they don't get their shit together, they're like, you can't, like, somebody, I truly believe this with all my heart. Somebody's got the silver bullet for D&D. Somebody's got the idea that puts D&D in the ground. And if D&D doesn't get better at treating their marginalized writers with respect, if D&D doesn't get better at making sure that casting events, don't have one or two POC faces just to say, see, we have a diverse table. If they don't get better at genuinely representing what the space actually looks like, then they're done. And I truly believe that. And they should be, if they don't acquiesce to what the space actually looks like, not what they want it to look like. No amount of celebrities, no amount of events, no amount of clout can stop that. TSR thought that was the case. So many other companies thought that their grip on the industry was ironclad, and it only takes one game. It only takes one idea. That's my thought on that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize that within the TTRPG sphere, there are several different industries. It's not just creating the RPG, and it's not just creating D&D.
Yeah.
There are other companies that are out there. There are definitely, streamers, right? So there are, in terms of like the umbrella, we can think of people as like performers and like, the people behind the scenes who do the camera work. There's like all of that, right? Like the live streaming when it comes to like the actual game. But when it comes to the creation side, there's also like you have your Wizards of the Coast, you have your Paizo's, you have like, all those bigger companies, but then you also have other companies like Bully Pulpit, or the stuff that Avery Alder's doing, like a lot of people that are like self-publishing, or Evil Hat, or all those other companies, even like Modifius, right? Like there are larger companies that not a lot of people talk about, despite having all these IPs, right? Like Modifius just did Dune.
Yeah, they've got Star Trek, John Carter of Mars. Like they've got a ton of properties.
Fallout.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of time we focus on D&D because that's what the general public knows about. But if we shift our thinking into like, oh, there are these other companies that also have IPs. Oh, wait, they do TTRPGs? Then are there other companies that do TTRPGs? Like, how Fiasco was like, one of the standards for like GM-less games for a while. Like that sort of opens a lot of doors for other people to like understand that it's not just D&D, it's not just Pathfinder, it's not just Shadowrun or whatever else. And I think that we are seeing sort of the split right now because more folks are understanding that TTRPGs are a medium, and because we're thinking now that it's a medium, we're not just thinking like, oh, TSR has the monopoly on everything, or like Wizard of the Coast has a monopoly on everything. We're now thinking, oh, there are other games, there are other companies that are doing different things. It's not just, here's a set of rules, this is all the crunchy rule sets, these are all like, the numbers and whatever. We can integrate cards, we could integrate like LARPing, we could, because LARPing is an RPG at the end of the day, we could integrate like, all these other different ways of playing for the user experience. So it's like interesting to see how experimental we can get, because it's now overlapping with immersive experience, it's now overlapping with theater, it's definitely overlapping with like live streaming and like all these other types of mediums and like ways that we consume media. So I think like what a lot of companies that have been around for a while, they need to recognize that. They need to recognize that there are other ways of creating games and like playing, and that will influence like the audience, right? And it goes vice versa, right? Like the audience as well is going to be like, oh, this is what I want. I'm not going to play this game anymore. I'm going to look for something else because they're more of what I want.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But like, I hear you there, and I think like to your point, I think another one of the advantages that Wizards has right now is there's a very solid infrastructure built around D&D, and I think that's one of the things that once the other publishers are able to build that, because I mean, let's be honest, D&D Beyond is a really solid tool, and it makes the game a lot more accessible. And I'm seeing other publishers are starting to build that via things like Roll20. So like you can play a lot of the IPs that you were talking about. They have built into Roll20 an infrastructure that's similar to D&D Beyond for their games. It's just not solely for their game. And I think once that clicks a bit better, I think there's a symbiotic relationship with a lot of these VTTs and these publishers that once they figure out how to meld perfectly, it's going to level the playing field in a very big way.
One more thought.
Absolutely.
I think that's why a lot of board gaming companies are getting into TTRPGs, because they have the money and they have the capability to create these sorts of user experience platforms that are similar to, what D&D has. So because of that, we're probably seeing like a lot of board gaming companies leaking into the TTRPG sphere, which isn't always necessarily the best. I have thoughts about it. They're strong. I'm going to leave it out of this. But
if you want to drop those thoughts, go for it.
I don't think that's always well-intentioned. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that if we wanted to get into that, we could also, we've been at this for about 2 hours. We can take a quick 10-minute break, and then we can come back with thoughts on that, not to interrupt or talk over. Yeah, that might be a section for the dark roast.
All right. So we come back with the dark roasters where we talk serious topics, which we dipped into a little earlier, but I like where this conversation is going.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and take a quick 15.
Yep.
And
10,
we
15.
will be back. And we will be back in just a bit.
See you in a sec. And
Hello.
We are back. Hi.
Hello.
So hello everybody. Guess what? You are here for a morning ritual first, because this episode is going to be a two-parter thanks to some scheduling shenaniganery. We're actually going to cut a little early, but we are going to have these two back next week, and then you'll be able to figure out what that guy's story is. Will it involve Charles E. Cheese? Who knows? But so we're going to just go ahead and jump into our outros. So I have been Noir. You can find me all over the internet as TheNoirEnigma, but you know all that. Just look at my pin tweet. Who was?
That's me. Hi, I'm Anita, or Panita, or Critical Misses. You can find me anywhere online at Panita or at Critical Misses. You kind of know my outros, but this week on Tuesday, you can find me over on Tall Squall's channel for The Hollowed, which is going to be a 5e game that's kind of supernatural wartime horror, I want to say.
Nice.
Yeah. And we'll throw it over to you, Austin.
Oh, I was burping. I'm sorry. I'm Austin. You can find me over on Twitter at Sailor Scout Austin. That's at Sailor SCT Austin, because the word Scout's too long. My pin tweet has a bunch of stuff. My main thing I love is my podcast called Secret History Nerd Mysteries. I'd love if you listen to it. Secret History Nerd Mysteries, wherever you get podcasts.
And Banana.
And I'm Banana. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Bananchan Games. My latest thing is with Austin, coincidentally enough. We are working on a TTRPG. It's a horror TTRPG coloring book, GM-less mishmash thing called Deimos Academy, where you are a bunch of adults returning back to your haunted, creepy boarding school. Very excited for that. Oh, that's coming on September, hopefully,
Nice.
on Kickstarter.
Very
Awesome.
For some reason, when you said I'm Banana, all I heard was, I'm a banana.
It was so sweet. But that is our episode for today. Please join us again next week for part 2, where we get into the dark roast. And we have more conversations about cryptids and all matters of just weird shit. I can't wait for it.
We're going to go on a raid over to our partners at Roll Together RPG. They have their talk show called Talk Together. We're going to send some love over that direction. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by and hanging out and chilling with us and listening to us rant about Mothman's cheeks and Charles Entertainment cheese. We love you all so much, but until next time, the ritual has concluded. Bye, everybody.
Boom. Bye.